Hi there, welcome back. In today's video, in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about insulin syringe. In this video, I'm going to talk about the insulin syringe. So what is the insulin syringe? The insulin syringe is the syringe for diabetic. So diabetic is a condition in which the blood sugar level is too high. People with diabetic need an insulin injection. Therefore, they require to use the insulin syringe. So we have two types of insulin syringe with a fixed needle or insulin syringe without the needle. The only difference is that insulin syringe with a fixed needle has a plunger, as you can see, has a plunger cap. So insulin syringe with a fixed needle has a plunger cap at the end. So this is the plunger cap. That is the only difference between insulin syringe with a fixed needle and insulin syringe without the needle. Okay, let us discuss about the parts of the insulin syringe. Insulin syringe consists of different parts. Each part plays important role in delivering the insulin injection. So let us see now. Okay, the insulin syringe consists of different components. Each part plays an important role in delivering the insulin injection. Let us see now the parts of the insulin syringe. It consists of the needle cap. So this is the needle cap in which it protects the needle from mechanical damage or contamination. It also has the needle hub. So this is the needle hub which holds the needle in position. So this is the needle hub. We also have the barrel. So this is the barrel. It's very narrow and slimmer. The barrel is the main body of the syringe which holds the insulin injection. So it is typically made from a clear plastic or glass, therefore allowing easy visibility of the insulin or any potential air bubbles. So a clear barrel will allow you to see the insulin syringe or any air bubble whenever you are administering the drug to the patient. Okay, it also has a plunger. So this is the plunger. The plunger is the movable component of the syringe, which will allow you to prepare whenever you're preparing or administering the drug to the patient. So the plunger is very movable. For example, when you want to prepare the drug, you have to pull back the plunger for you to withdraw the drug into the syringe, and you will need to push the plunger for you to administer the drug to the patient. So that's the function of the plunger. Okay, we also have the gasket. So the black plastic you see here is the gasket. So this is the gasket. The gasket allows you to read the insulin units very feasible. For example, if you wanted to measure 50 units of the insulin, so the gasket should be in line with the 50 units for correct dosing of the drug. That's the function of the gasket. Okay, it also has a plunger cap. So this is the plunger cap which protects the plunger from mechanical damage or contamination. It also has a volume marking which starts from 10 up to 100 units. So we have two types of insulin syringe. Insulin syringe that measures with 100 units and that measures with 40 units. Okay, what about the size of the syringe? So insulin syringe comes into different size. For instance, we have the first size is 0.4 ml, which holds a 25 units of insulin injection. We also have the 0.3 ml syringe, which holds 30 up to 50 units of insulin injection. We also have the 0.5 ml syringe, which holds 50 units of insulin injection. We also have the 1 ml syringe, which holds up to 100 units of insulin. For example, if you want insulin of a smaller dose, you will require the syringe with the smaller size, that is the 0.4 ml or 0.3 ml. If you want insulin of a higher dose, you will require a syringe with a larger size, that is the 0.5 ml or 1.0 ml syringe. Okay, how are you going to administer the injection? What about the injection site of the insulin? Insulin injection is generally given in the subcutaneous, that is immediately below the skin, the layer of the skin, that's the subcutaneous. What about the injection sites? Insulin injection is generally given into the upper arm, that is the upper shoulders. It's also given in the abdomen. There is a fat substance tissue in the abdomen. It's also given in the thigh. So that's the thigh. Insulin injection is also given in the thigh. So these are the three main areas where the insulin injection is administered. So which size will you use for you to administer the injection? So the size of the syringe depends on the dose of the insulin syringe prescribed by your physician or a qualified medical practitioner. Insulin. So if you are taking the insulin injection daily, you will require for you to rotate the injection site. For instance, if you are giving the injection on the abdomen, you will need to move 1 inch away from the injection that you have given, because if you repeat the injection given in one area, it will cause a condition called lipodystrophy, because the skin will form a lump, a mass around the injection site, because you are giving the injection on the same spot. So you have to rotate the injection site whenever you are giving the drug to the patient. So you need to consider the following factors for you to administer the insulin injection. Number one, you have to consider the patient's comfort, because the insulin injection should be painless. So it should be painless. The needle should be very smaller, shorter, and should be very thinner. So the higher the number, the shorter or the thinner the needle is. Insulin syringe generally ranges from 8 or 30 gauge length. Therefore, you have to select the best size according to the dose of the injection. For instances, you have to consider the patient's comfort whenever you are administering the drug to the patient. Generally, insulin injection is painless, so you have to consider that. Secondly, you have to consider the injection site. So whenever you administer insulin injection, make sure you have to consider the injection and site. Third, you need to consider the insulin dosage. So you have to consider insulin dosage. For instances, children will require the insulin syringe with a smaller one, because they need insulin with a smaller doses. And adult people, they need a insulin syringe with the larger one, because they need a higher dose. So you have to consider the dose of the patient. You must also consider the patient's age and size. For instance, children will require a needle with a 31 gauge, that's around 4 to 5 millimeter of syringe of needle. And secondly, adults who are slimmer, they will require a needle of gauge in 28 or maybe 29 with 4 up to 6 millimeter of length. Okay, what about adults with those who are fatty, those who have a fatty tissue? So they will require a needle of gauge 27 or 28 with 6 up to 12.7 millimeter in length. So that these are the factors you are supposed to consider whenever you are administering the insulin injection. So how are you going to withdraw the insulin injection? So generally, the insulin syringe is measured in units, not in ml. So it is measured in units. For instance, whenever you are measuring the dose, make sure you have to measure the correct amount of the drug. For example, this is the 40 units, and this is 50 units, and this is the 100 units. So you have to consider that. Okay, what about how to prepare the medication? So generally, the insulin injection is stored below 30 degrees Celsius. It needs refrigeration, so make sure the drug should be refrigerated. So this is the insulin injection. So this is the mixstat. So this is the mixstat, which is 100 international units per ml. So this is the insulin injection, which is the mixstat. So this is how you are going to withdraw the drug. You get the insulin syringe. Make sure first you clean with an alcohol swab the opening of the vial. Then you insert the insulin, you insert the needle into the vial. Then what you do, you withdraw the insulin into the syringe. So this is how, so let me measure now 50 units of insulin. So this is 50 units of insulin. This is how you are going to withdraw the drug. Then what you do, you have to make sure avoid touching the needle, because it can cause contamination. then what you do, you have to put back the cap of the needle to avoid contamination or mechanical damage to the needle. Then that's the time you can administer the drug to the patient. Make sure whenever you're administering, ensure that you follow the 8 rights of drug administration. That is right patient, right drug, right dose, right route, right time, the right reason, and the right documentation. That is the time you can administer the drug to the patient. Make sure this video is only intended for informational purpose, but it is not intended to diagnose or treat any condition. So never practice such type of video, but it's only for informational. I hope you find the video very helpful. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and give your comment to this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.